Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I have some news to share with you. Michael is back on top. Plus, we have more box office to talk about. So, stick around, because here we go. Now, before we get started, just a quick reminder, I am trying to get to 50K. YouTube has done nothing to help me lately. You have. So, let me please ask you one more time. Double check you're still subscribed to the channel. Whether this is your first time or your 1,000th time, just make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, click on that bell icon, turn on all notifications, and hit the thumbs up button. Those 3 steps, if you have to do them all, is really worth it to any creator that you appreciate. And if you're up for it, when we get to the end of the video, leave me some comments down below. I try to look at all the comments I can throughout the week and get back to you. So if you have some genuine questions or you want to talk about some other content, we certainly can do that as well. But let's jump right in. So Michael is the king of the box office. 26 million US, 83 million worldwide, displacing, obviously, Devil Wears Prada 2, which has been in #1 for quite some time. And Anthony D'Alessandro says this on May 17th, which was yesterday. Obsession romances 16 million and an A- cinema score based on the Sunday morning box office. The question is, how long did that stick around? Well, Obsession actually overperformed, and Devil Wears Prada 2 came in a little lighter than Michael for some reason. Does that mean the movie's running thin now after the period of 3 weeks? Or that Michael made it back onto big screens? Well, he kind of did. A 31% drop from last weekend, Michael still takes the #1 spot, while a 57% drop for Devil Wears Prada puts it right in second spot. And Obsession in third from Focus Features. In its first week, I'm not sure how well it'll do overall. And finally, Mortal Kombat 2 sticks around in 3,500 theaters to the tune of 62.2 million in the end of its second week in total. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now we get to Sheep Detectives, which stuck in the top 5 at 3,554 theaters, adding 97, and having only a 38% fall off, so a total of 29.7 million in week 2. Super Mario Galaxy, with 2,793 theaters and a digital release under its belt, is totaling $418.6 million at the end of its 7th week. It's soon going to hit $1 billion globally, and that'll be very telling. Project Hail Mary, despite being available on streaming and digital in 2,177 theaters, is still climbing each week, sitting at 334.8 million domestic at the end of week 9. The staying power of good films is amazing to me. And something else that's amazing to me is when you release a classic film and it finds its way into the top 10 after, well, being widely available through streaming, digital release, CD, DVD, Blu-ray, and it somehow finds its way into the top 10. That's exactly what Top Gun did with its 40th anniversary release from Paramount. In fact, it earned this weekend $4.9 million, putting it in 8th place. And In the Gray, a Henry Cavill film, ended up with an opening weekend of $3 million, and in 10th place is God Is at $2.2 million. So these numbers are looking, well, a little bit healthier than we've been seeing up until the last couple of weekends. What's interesting to me is the headline from Variety. No message could have been any clearer. Michael #1 around the globe with a $704 million cum. That is a lot of money. It'll likely hit $1 billion by the time it ends its run. And finally, Hollywood Reporter talks about Michael sashaying past Prada 2 with a stunning $26 million box office weekend, returning to IMAX and other premium large format screens, which is where you do make the bulk of your money. But the story is bigger and broader than that, and we need to talk about that because we still got another weekend of over $100 million, but just barely. And that's concerning for exhibitors. We need the breakout films to break loose. which should begin next weekend as we approach summer box office. This is the big holiday weekend break that everybody was waiting for. The question is, as we start to see interest and awareness scores for the films that are coming out, will they perform better than this? Well, with Michael, it's in its third week of release, 24 days in, and still managed to win the box office at $26.1 million. Not driven by Mother's Day anymore, The Devil Wears Prada 2 only earned $18 million. Mind you, it's been in theaters 17 days. Obsession, 3 days, $16 million. Mortal Kombat 2, $13 million. The Sheep Detectives, $9.3 million, and Super Mario Galaxy Movie, $4.4 million. These numbers are pretty impressive for the length of stay. If you think about how long Super Mario Galaxy Movie's been in theaters, 47 days, 59 days for Project Hail Mary, and I'm telling you, they're still earning decent money. But once you get down past number 10, you end up in 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th place, starting to disappoint. In fact, I'm disappointed Shrek and its re-release did not do better. $1.25 million. That's wild. Also, Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway, The Sorcery of Nymph Cirque, $810,000. Disappointing, I would say. Billie Eilish didn't exactly jump up. In fact, it fell down 89% this weekend with a mere $800,000 in earnings, bringing it just under $10 million for the domestic release in North America. The Wizard of the Kremlin premiered to only $483,000 in 3 days of release, but it's only in 582 theaters. Lee Cronin's The Mummy, down to 178 theaters, is down another 73%. Closing in on the $30 million range, but I don't believe that even puts it in a range to call it profitable yet. This is very strange. Disney's leaving in Hoppers, which has been around for 73 days now, because they really desperately want this movie to make money. It's only in 100 theaters right now, but only earned $55,000, down another 73%, with $550 per screen. $165 million isn't enough to get this one over the finish line. They're probably aiming for $200 million to combine it with an international earnings so they can claim some kind of victory here. Will they? I don't think so. But as always, the most important thing is the total earnings in the box office. And as you can see here, $104,869,920 in 27 films all told. That is okay. It is enough that the exhibitors are all right, but they really need the big tent poles to start hitting, which actually happens this coming weekend. Again, a holiday weekend with Mandalorian and Grogu already receiving mixed reviews. Do you think that next weekend becomes very important to Disney's future? I do, especially for Disney Star Wars, which they're already starting to retcon. I'm curious, what do you guys think? Are you going to go see Mandalorian and Grogu or any of the other films we mentioned on today's video? Is there one in here that you absolutely must see? Maybe you want to see Michael again. And that's the other difference that we've seen recently, is people going back to the theater to see films over and over again. That's not a phenomenon we've experienced recently, and it's only for the really popular films, though. It's not people going to see Devil Wears Prada 3 times. It's more likely to have people seeing Michael multiple times, or Super Mario Galaxy, or Project Hail Mary. Something that, well, everybody can get into. The question is, do we have more like this on the horizon, or is it going to be a pretty slow summer? Let's see what this coming holiday brings us, and then we'll talk about it further on next Monday's video. On that note, be sure to leave some comments down below. Let me know what you saw. Let me know what you're going to see, and I'll have my review for Mandalorian and Grogu available for you on Friday. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. Just hopefully better movies.